Osio Halito. What up, everybody? This is part 2 to the spirituality and culture relating to the Black Panther movie. In part 1, I related the Black Panther to the Black Jaguar spirit, the Jaguar priesthood in the Americas, and the warrior tribes in Africa. The ones in Africa have the leopard and the panther and the lion, where they get the Bast energy, and they reference Bast in the movie, the Black Panther energy. And in the Americas, you have the Jaguar energy, the Jaguar priesthood. So the warriors were shamans and warriors. Okay, they were priests and warriors. Okay, so I have some books that I'm gonna break down and some cards. Okay, one of the sayings in the movie stuck out to me. Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. Now, Wakanda was their place in Agbulan, Africa. It was a spiritual place. They had shamanism, they had warrior, they had commerce, they had economy, technology, all of that. And so, Wakanda, Wakan stuck out to me because that is divine, great spirit, great mystery, the one, the source of all things. Okay, we have the source of life. We have the one source of life, and the Thunderbird. So Wakan relates to divine great spirit and the Thunderbird, and the Americas and Africa. But I'm going to speak briefly on the Americas. They always had the three realms: the underworld, the earth realm, and the spiritual realm. The underworld, the serpent crawls low to the ground. Okay, we have the snake, the serpent. Okay, this also travels up to the top. So it's a spiritual thing. The Kundalini energy. The Kundalini energy, the Chi energy, which is mentioned in the word Wakanda. It is the life force, the Kundalini, okay? The Kupari, the Chi energy. Now, I have two books really that I'm going to delve into. Okay, the first one is Return of the ThunderBeings by Iron Thunder Horse Don Levy Jr. and The Return of the Serpents of Wisdom by Mark Amaru Pinkman. Okay, these two books touch on the ThunderBeings, the Thunderbird clans, and how they're related to the Serpent clans. We are related in the spiritual sense. This is about the spirituality more in depth in relation to the Black Panther movie, because they mentioned Wakanda forever. So I'm going to speak on Wakanda, divine great spirit, the source of all things, the life force in us all, and the Thunderbird, the ThunderBeings. Okay, so the guy that wrote this book, Iron Horse, Thunder Iron Horse is his name. Okay, he is a Heyoka and is represented by the Fool card, but never mind that. But he is a Heyoka. Heyokas are shamans. Okay, this is a shaman. They are spiritualists. They tap into the spiritual realm, and the Thunderbirds, the ThunderBeings, teach the Heyokas and shamans their spiritual wisdom and knowledge. Okay, and in the movie, Black Panther, there was a shaman played by Forrest Whitaker, and I'm trying to think of his name. I will probably think of it when the movie is over, but he was a shaman. Okay, and so there were shamans in Africa, Agbulan, and in the Americas. Okay, yeah, no, I embrace both heritages because that is in my bloodline. Okay, now this book ties the spirituality systems from the Serpent clans, the Dragon clans, the Thunderbird clans. Okay, also it deals with the Jaguar Priesthood, and all of the animal spirit clans, that we are one spirituality. So this book breaks it down from the Americas, Africa, India, which was Hindustan, and Asia and other places. And they all have these same motifs. Like they have the serpent, the snake. They have the jaguar, the panther, the lion or the leopard, the puma for the Indians, and they have the eagle or the hawk in reference to the Thunderbird. Also the condor, the Quetzal bird too. Okay, and so here's the eagle. And these are after the codexes for the Olmec spirituality. Okay, the Olmec, the Maya, the Zapotec, the Mixtec, the Toltec. These are their codexes. Okay, you have the Quetzal bird and you have the hawk. These, especially the eagle and the hawk, represent the Thunderbird. Okay, you have the serpents. Okay, so the serpent is the underworld, but travels up to the spiritual realm, which brings them together. So you have the serpent, and then on the earth realm is the jaguar or the Black Panther. And then in the spiritual realm is the eagle, the hawk, the thunderbird, the condor. Okay? The Thunderbird. So, I'm going to show y'all this excerpt again where it mentions Wakanda. The transformative power has many different names. LifeFORCE, Kundalini, Wakanda, Chi, Kupari, to name a few. So there are other names for this life force, this Kundalini, that spiritual energy within us all, which is just a depiction of divine great spirit. Our ancestors use many words and ways to describe divine great spirit, the all, the source, the one, the source of all things. And then the Quetzalcoatl brings them together, okay? The feathered serpent. So the serpent energy, the jaguar energy is in the middle. And then you have the feather, the thunderbird, the hawk, the thunderbird, the eagle, the condor. So Quetzalcoatl is all three levels of spirituality, okay? And someone that is a Quetzalcoatl or a Kukulkan, which these terms came from the mighty Olmec, the she, the XI. This is why I chose that on the end of my name. They were the first documented to tap into that jaguar energy, shape-shifting. The shaman takes upon the spiritual essence of the jaguar and uses it in the priesthood and as a warrior. Okay, the brute strength and all the skills of the jaguar, and then the spiritual sense, because they saw the jaguar as the depiction of divine great spirit here on the earth realm. You see the Jaguar is on the throne. Okay, so I'm going to get into it about Wakanda, okay? The spiritual essence of Wakanda. And if you want to pause it or take a screenshot, you can. Okay. So I'm going to break down the ThunderBeings, okay? The Thunderbird in reference to Wakanda in the movie The Black Panther. Also, this book, Return of the Bird Tribes, speaks of the Thunderbird clans, okay? So, all right. Now, okay, I'm going to start reading. It says, but all is not lost. I'm starting here. But all is not lost right now. There are many circles being reestablished to deal with these earth changes and to prepare for the great purification that the prophecies have foretold. I began to build mine long ago. Now that some of these circles are strong and stable, they have begun to interconnect. Eventually, they will all be joined, linking the globe in one complete circle. I call this the ancient order of shamanic tribes. It is a collective ethos, a universal alternative society whose cycle has returned. So, return of the bird tribes, okay? This should not be surprising. The Hopi prophecies and the Dogon prophecies. Research the Dogon and the Hopi, the Zuni. They are all related, especially in a spiritual sense, because the ThunderBeings, the star beings, taught them this spiritual wisdom and knowledge. Okay? It says, this should not be surprising. The Hopi prophecies, among others, speak of a time when tribes will come together as one, when new clans will form and all will join hands in unity. A pictograph at Prophecy Rock in Hopi land relates that we are all at the crossroads now. Okay, we are all at the crossroads now. It says humanity will either be devoured by the beast of ignorance or transformed into an instrument for the balance of nature. Part of my job as a Heyoka is to do everything I can to help establish this new balance. Heyokas are contraries with special powers of reversal. The Thunderbirds are the guardian of these powers and mysteries. They are the ones who teach the Heyokas, the shamans. The Thunderbirds have taught me how to use the thunderbolt. And what comes to mind is Oya with the thunderbolt. Oya and Shango, also research them. That's in the African spirituality, Akbulan. Okay, the thunderbolt as a voice of truth and how to help channel its power. Okay, how to channel its power where it is most needed. Negative power can never be destroyed, only neutralized by its reverse polarity. Negative power can never be destroyed, only neutralized by its reverse polarity. At the center, power is neither negative nor positive. And at the center is talking about at the 0 point, at the balance point. It's neither negative nor positive. It incorporates both into a state of reciprocal transmutation. The ThunderBeings come to test and transmute us. As a Heyoka, a shaman, I help to channel these energies. The grandfathers do the judging. Okay, when he says the grandfathers, the ThunderBeings, okay? I am merely a tool they use just as I might use a rattle or a mask in this dimension. Okay, how the Jaguar warriors wear masks, and the Panther, the Black Panther, he wore a mask, he wore a suit, okay? And he was harnessing that Wakanda energy, the life force, okay? So it says, but the power is all interconnected. This transformative power has many different names. Life force, Kundalini, Wakanda, Chi, Kapuri, to name a few. Whatever one chooses to call it, this is what the ThunderBeings teach shamans to use correctly. Just as a Tai Chi master can raise a person's chi by simply touching the psychic centers, certain shamans use crystals, like I have some crystals here that I work with, okay, and this one is leopardite, and I got this one because I flow in the Jaguar energy, okay. Okay, it helps shamans on their journey, okay, when they go on a spiritual journey or a spiritual quest, okay, for wisdom, visions, knowledge, okay, wisdom from divine GreatSpirit, our ancestors and guides. The spirit guides are the ThunderBeings, okay? ThunderBeings teach shamans how to use this force correctly, okay? Just as the Tai Chi master can raise a person's chi by simply touching the psychic centers, certain shamans use crystals to open up clogged centers in your body, while others can awaken the same power in people at long distances. Okay, so this can be done in person or long distance, okay, through mental suggestion and prayer. Then when one person's psychic centers are open and unobstructed, the person can serve as a booster cable to jumpstart the worn out centers in others. As we evolve spiritually, our vibratory rates increase. Okay, as we evolve spiritually, our vibratory rates increase. And in the Black Panther movie, they were talking about vibranium. It's like a vibration, a substance. It's kind of like a meteor substance from the heavens, the stars, the cosmos, the sky. So I thought that was interesting how they called it vibranium. And they used it, it was a source of power that they used to power things. Like they had these trains, and the vibranium was in this mountain, this sacred mountain, where they it was harnessed, and it was used to make tools and things of that nature. But it was a life force, a power, okay, a power source. So vibranium and Wakanda, those two stood out to me. And so this is part 2, breaking down that. Okay, it says, as we evolve spiritually, our vibratory rates increase. The more awareness we gain, the higher the frequency of this vibration. People of like rates hear each other's inner voice like spiritual timbre. They begin to resonate in harmony with each other. As this resonance spreads, more people begin to awaken spiritually. And as they awaken, and you see how awaken, Wakan, I just see that with that Wakanda, that source of energy, the life force, the life source, okay? It says, as they awaken, they automatically feel more love and take more responsibility for themselves and everything around them. It is this spiritual resonance that will eventually heal the earth. The prophecies speak of this time as a cleansing period. It is a time when corruption, greed, ignorance, and disease will be purged by the healing forces. In mind, body, and spirit, every corner of our planet will become rejuvenated. Nations, tribes, and races will put previous differences behind them and join together for the good of everyone. This is already happening, and healers of all kinds, both seen and unseen, are playing important roles right now, preparing people to come into balance so that they can ride out the storm, okay? Because some things will be not totally destroyed, but transmuted, okay? Because negative energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transmuted, okay? I read that earlier. The knowledge I have collected in this book is a part of my contribution to the process. Through it, I hope that you will gain some insight, inspiration that will help you lift up, that will help to lift you up. And from your new vantage point, whatever it may be, I hope you will see more clearly than you. I hope you will see more clearly that you too are being called to serve the Great Spirit, that you too have an important role in the great purification. What you do with that vision is up to you. Okay? And this is one of his visions. Okay? So, once again, I'm going to show y'all where they break down the Wakanda. Okay, the transformative power has many different names. LifeFORCE, Kundalini, Wakanda, Chi, Kapuri, to name a few. Okay, whatever one chooses to call it, this is what the ThunderBeings teach shamans to use correctly. So, like the character Eric Killmonger, okay, with him having that life force, was he using it correctly? I mean, it is a time to destroy things, so to speak. And it's a time to heal things. Remember, Prince T'Challa offered healing to him. Okay, so this was referenced in the movie. So the shamans and the Thunderbirds, the ThunderBeings, the Thunderbirds teach the shaman how to use the Wakanda life force correctly. Okay, so usually people that have mastered this, like the Tai Chi masters, the Woos, the Woo warriors, the all of the warriors, the Jaguar priests, the Zulu warriors, all of the warriors of our nations, some of them that have reached this higher level to mastery, they will be called Quetzalcoatls or Kukulkans, like from the Olmec spirituality. They are our mothers and fathers, okay? And so in the Olmec religion, I'll just give y'all a little shot of this. Okay, in the Olmec religions, they tapped into this spirituality, okay, with the life force, okay, the Wakanda energy. They have other names for it. So this is from Return of the ThunderBeings, Iron Thunder Horse. Okay, Iron Thunder Horse, okay? And so this book, okay, Return of the Serpents of Wisdom, okay? Okay, this book ties all of the spiritualities together. Return of the Serpents of Wisdom by Mark Amaru Pinkman. Okay, now what I just read in the Return of the ThunderBeings book. Okay, the medicine women and men, the shamans, the spiritualists. Okay, the shamans. Okay. And they use tools like the medicine wheel, okay, to go in the center to meet divine great spirit, the Wakan or the Wakanda, the Thunderbeings, the Thunderbirds, that teach us the spiritual wisdom and knowledge and how to use the life force correctly. They were also warrior women and men, and they aid in justice and the judgment coming from divine great spirit, okay, bringing justice to the world. This is a time of purification, okay, so this is a part of the judgment and justice of the world, okay. So I'm gonna go into the other book, which is Return of the Serpents of Wisdom. Okay. Now, before I get into the Serpents of Wisdom book, I'm going to touch on the Thunderbird card, okay? The Thunderbird card. All right. So, this book breaks it down, okay? This is the 9 of Shields in this deck, the Thunderbird, okay? Now, it says, American Indian peoples believe universally in the power inherent in all living things. An eagle, a bear, a buffalo, and a tree were all thought to be endowed with power because they were alive. They were powerful spirits as well, such as the stone spirit, Tanka, the thunder spirit, Wakan, okay, is similar to the word Wakanda. And remember, the other book says there are other names to describe this life force, okay. Now, it says, such as the stone spirit, Tanka, the thunder spirit, Wakan, the moving spirit, Taku, Skanska, the water spirit, Tihi, all Wakan, mysterious, grand, unfathomable, holy, part of the great mystery. The names given are Lakota, but the concepts are Pan-American Indian, Native American. Okay, I choose the word American Indian, okay, because it relates to the Aboriginal Indians, the copper-colored tribes that were here pre-Columbian times, okay? The Great Thunderbird of the West is, in the Lakota pantheon, one of the most prominent and... Let me put this down because my hand is kind of shaky, not steady on this camera. Okay. It says the Great Thunderbird of the West is, in the Lakota pantheon, one of the most prominent and far-reaching symbols. He has been described as living in a lodge on top of a mountain in the world's end, okay? This is interesting because in the Black Panther movie, they had the vibranium in a mountain, okay, a sacred mountain. It was sacred to the Wakandan people, Okay. It says the great Thunderbird of the West is in the Lakota pantheon, one of the most prominent and far-reaching symbols. He has been described as living in a lodge on the top of a mountain at the world's end, where the sun goes down. The Thunderbird was once a big hawk, the biggest that had ever been on Earth. He was so big that 2 lodges were darkened by his shadow as he passed over. He was also very powerful, but his power went to his head, and he forgot to give thanks to the Great Spirit, and forgot the ceremonies that he had been given by the ThunderBeings, okay? The real source of his power, which were the ThunderBeings. The ThunderBeings gave him his power, okay? The real source of his power, forgotten. He was punished by his benefactors. No longer were the ThunderBeings at his beck and call. He was at theirs. He was still a big, handsome bird, but to prevent his getting arrogant again, he was partly hidden behind the clouds. Only those with clear sight can see his true shape. Otherwise, he appears as a strange formation of clouds or a fiery lightning creation. Okay. So they give reference to other birds. Okay, around the world, a giant bird is almost always the symbol of a creative, inventive deity. The sun in Vedic tradition, that's in India, Hindustan, is an eagle or a swan. The Norse mythology refers to an enormous bird, Harisvig, whose beating wings create the wind. Turtle Island has the Thunderbird, who makes the sound of thunder with his flapping wings and sends forth lightning from his flashing eyes. Thunderbird is another manifestation of Wakan Tanka, the giver of revelation, as symbolized by the lightning. He is identical with the Hindu Garuda the Great, the one-eyed bird, or with the Logos. The Logos is in the Bible, okay? The word, the written word, okay? There's life in the written word, okay? In the words of divine Great Spirit, I would say. The Chinese dragon who rides the storm clouds with a voice of thunder. Like the Judeo-Christian angel Gabriel, he is the divine messenger. The design of the Thunderbird came of Rattling Bear's own vision quest. So usually when you go to have a vision quest, they go to a sacred mountain, or they go in the center of the medicine wheel, okay? So they're just talking about the design of the card, okay? The Thunderbird came of Rattling Bear's own vision quest. The elements and spirits combined are an example of the fusion of powers necessary for personal growth. A hummingbird, a hawk, a butterfly, and the Thunderbird are superimposed on a symbol of the rain cloud. The Rockies lie purple in the background, and a cactus blooms and bear fruits on the edge of a mesa. The essence of Thunderbird is the element of growth, such as personal growth, but growth through change of scene, change of mind, with common sense and intuition used for spiritual as well as material gain. Okay, and then they talk about the reversed, if it's reversed, okay? And then they said mentally, the growth of ideals, and so on. Emotionally, letting go of stumbling blocks like anger, jealousy, lack of confidence. Spiritual, to change from being touched by God, by the Holy Spirit, by the great mystery, Wakan Tanka, by the universal oneness. So Wakan Tanka, the universal oneness, the source of all things. Wakanda comes from that. Okay? So, in the Serpents of Wisdom book, we're going to go to that. Okay, this is coming from the book Return of the Serpents of Wisdom by Mark Amaru Pinkman. Return of the Serpents of Wisdom. This breaks down the worldwide spirituality. And in my research, this all goes back to Pangea. Okay? The spirituality of Pangea. But you have the Quetzalcoatlus and Kukulcans of Mesoamerica. Okay, now this breaks down the Olmec Quetzalcoatlus, the Tamoancan. Okay? And they tapped into the Great Serpent to awaken their inner serpent fire. That serpent fire is that Wakanda. Okay? They did take in some mushrooms. Okay, just like in the movie, they took in that herb from that flower to get the Panther power. Okay? Okay. So the plum serpent, which is Quetzalcoatl. Okay. This is Quetzalcoatl. And I'm going to bring this down here. Okay. The Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent. This comes from the Olmec. They were called the Kukulcans and the Quetzalcoatls. Okay. If you do research, Kukulcan is the first name, and then Quetzalcoatl is the next name. Okay. You go from the Olmec and the Maya to the Aztec. So their later name was Quetzalcoatl. Okay. So all right. So you can see this a little bit. You can do a screenshot. Okay. All right. So you have the Olmec Quetzalcoatls. Okay. And they have some pictures in here too. Let me get the pictures. All right. And when they say the serpent people, they're just talking about the Kundalini energy, the chi, the life force within them, the Wakan. So this is why the Asian people are called the Khans. And the Olmec have something to do with the pre-Shang dynasty and the Shang dynasty. The Xi, the She. So research that also. This is Melanin History Month, so these are gems to research, okay? So the serpent, it says, the Olmec serpent people with the serpent jaguar theme, okay? Because they had the serpent and the jaguar. They also had the eagle warriors. They were shamans and warriors, okay? And so the Quetzalcoatls were the priest kings, okay? They were the ones who mastered this serpent power, this Wakan power, this life force energy, the Kundalini energy within them. So this is why they use these animal motifs, because they related to different aspects of divine great spirit, the great mystery. So here are some Olmecs, the Olmec serpent people, these large colossal heads. They had the shamans in transformation, where they transformed into a jaguar. Okay. All right. So, as you can see, the pictures, These large colossal heads. Okay. This is in La Venta. Okay. Tres Zapotec. Okay. This is the early 1860s. Of course, it's been there long before that. All right. So, and they also have the Serpent Puma. Okay. They have the Serpent Puma, the Amarus, and the Andeans, where Machu Picchu is. Okay, the Incas. We're connected. The Incas, the Amarus, the Olmec. Okay. The Incans have Viracocha. The Olmecs have the Kukulkan, and the Aztecs, they have the Quetzalcoatlus. Okay, and this is them learning to master that life force, that Wakan energy. Okay, mastering it. Okay, it's used for healing, enlightenment, and awakening. Okay, so this is Teotihuacan, the city of Quetzalcoatlus. Okay, the Toltec really carried on all of this wisdom. Okay, this spiritual wisdom. Okay, transform spiritually. This is about spiritual transformation and bringing it to the physical realm. Okay, okay, they talk about the redeeming fire, the Kundalini, united the polarity and catalyzed a rebirth within the candidate. A luminous consciousness, the awareness and enlightenment of the illustrious Quetzalcoatlus. Okay. The Chichimecas. Okay. The Mixtecs. Okay. So instead of a Tai Chi master, you would have a Quetzalcoatl priest king or a Kukulkan priest king, one who has mastered this Kundalini energy. Okay, and so they break down about the Quetzalcoatlus. Okay, the eagle and jaguar knights, uniting the polarity of the jaguar and the eagle, which is just the physical realm and the spiritual realm. The eagle, the condor, the thunderbird, the hawk, the Quetzalbird, they represent the spiritual realm. Okay, from the ThunderBeings, the Thunderbird, also the Phoenix. Okay, and then you have the Jaguar, which is on the physical earthly realm. The Jaguar, the Puma, the Leopard, the Black Panther. Okay, even in some cases, the Lion and the Black Panther and Leopard in Africa, Akbulan. And they have the Jedis. The Jedis have mastered the Kundalini, that Chi, life force, Wakan energy. Okay, and so this book breaks it down. This book breaks down all the spiritualities from the Serpent clans, the Dragon clans, the Jaguar, Priesthood, all of these priesthood, these shaman warriors. So here is the Mayan Kukulkans, and you can pause it and read it. Okay, this is in Chichen Itza. Okay, they also have a place called Ikbalam, which is the black jaguar. Okay, so these priests and priestesses, they tapped into the energy. Okay, they had a priesthood. Okay, and usually when they say Mayan, they mean the Olmec, because the Mayan are descendants of the Olmec. Okay, this was initiation, mastering that Wakan power within you, within your chakras. Okay, your body, your spiritual body. And they did certain ceremonies during the equinoxes and the solstices, certain holy days. They purified themselves in the sweat lodges in the Americas. Okay. A lot of stuff. I could do so many parts to this. Okay. Okay, these are in North America. Okay. The Hopis have the Snake Clan. Okay, I relate the Hopis to the Dogon. They master that Kundalini energy, that Wakan energy within them. They do the snake dance, the serpent of fire, that fire energy. That's why in the Bible they said receiving the Holy Spirit is like fire shut up in your bones. That's the serpent fire, the life force within you, traveling up your body to the crown of your head. Okay. Now, okay, the snake clans, the horned serpent, and the winged serpent is a dragon. So the Asians, the pre-Shang dynasty, the Olmec, and the Khans, the dragons, they tapped into this energy also. Okay, the Thunderbird clan, the channelers of intense serpent power. Okay. Okay, they talk about the second branch of North American serpent clan is the Thunderbird clan. The patron deity of this clan is the mighty Thunderbird, a North American version of the Chinese rain dragon. Like the rain dragon, the Thunderbird is conceived by Native Americans to be a winged form of GreatSpirit. So the Thunderbird is a winged form of GreatSpirit, the creator, creatress of all things, the life force. It is a manifestation of the primal dragon and an aspect of the serpent. For this, Mason members of the Pacific Northwest Snake and Thunderbird clans dance together in ceremony. So they have these snake dances. This is why they dress up in regalia. They tap into those different animal spirits, okay? Initiates of the Thunderbird clan are, like their brothers and sisters of the Snake clan, intimately associated with rain and possess spiritual rain-making abilities. In order to generate bountiful precipitation, members of the Thunderbird clan either invoke the spirit of the Thunderbird through mantras, invocables, or summon aspects of the Thunderbird's extended body, the ThunderBeings. Many members of the Thunderbird clan also acquire the ability to channel the serpent power of the bird of lightning through their bodies, and then utilize it for healing and spiritual transformation. This power is received directly from the Thunderbird and is very concentrated and deadly, like an explosive bolt of lightning. When handled appropriately, however, this awesome energy can be transmitted into others to elicit a spontaneous healing or awaken the Kundalini, the inner lightning serpent. Okay? So, I'm going to let y'all get a screenshot of that. The Thunderbird clan, the channelers of intense serpent power. That is just the life force energy from divine great spirit within you. Okay? Okay. All right. And so they just give their experience about it. And okay, in Egypt, you have the Jedis. The Jedis of Egypt. Now, in the Black Panther movie, they will be tapping into the Jedi energy. Okay? You also have the Anunnaki. If you've done research on the Anunnaki, the Dragon King, the Grand Masters of the Mesopotamian serpents. Okay? the Baru, Kalu, chanters, and diviners. So divination, things that I do in my videos, is from my ancestors. The Nurgles, the chief serpents of Chaldea. Okay. So the Jedi of Egypt. Okay. Okay. Once established in Egypt, the dragon culture engendered a brotherhood of priest kings and spiritual masters called the Jedi, whose definitive symbol is a Ujet, Uraeus. That's that snake that's on their headpiece. A golden likeness of the indigenous desert. Okay, the roots of the Jedi and Ujet, DJ, okay, Jedi, denote serpent and column respectively, and thus designated a Jedi as one who has raised the inner serpent, the Kundalini, up the human vertebrae, the vertebral column, to the spiritual centers within the head, and those become a serpent of wisdom. Okay, they become a serpent of wisdom, or a Quetzalcoatl, or a Kukulkan. Okay, a Jedi. So the Black Panther movie, since they were in Agbulan, Africa, they will be considered Jedis, shaman, priests, warriors. And then in the Americas, we have the Quetzalcoatls and the Kukulkans, okay, and other names, okay, become a serpent of wisdom. The mark of such an evolved Jedi was the golden asp, or golden band, which was honorably worn over the seat of wisdom, the third eye. So this symbol was over their third eye on their head dress or headpiece. Okay, this guy, As Isa Shawaler de Lubex. Subek is on my mind. I have Subek up there. But Subek, let me show you Subek right quick. Subek is right there. He's holding a golden staff. He is a crocodile. Okay, crocodiles and dragons are also mentioned in this book. So Subek will be one of the deities where they tap into this energy also. The crocodiles and the dragons and the serpent are all similar. The dragon just has wings. The dragon is a serpent with the wings of the Thunderbird, basically. So they play around with the names, but they actually mean something. They bring the spiritual and the physical world together. And so your mental state is at its best. Okay? So, this is just, okay. They talk about the goddess. I love when they talk about the women, the womb man, the goddesses. Okay? Per Ujet. So you have the Jedis and you have Ujet, the city of the serpent goddess Ujet. And I may be pronouncing it wrong, but you get the idea. One of the earliest and most important of the serpent cities in the north of Egypt was Per Ujet, later called Buto, the city of Ujet. Ujet was a name of the serpent goddess, and within her sacred city was built one of the most glorious serpent shrines in all of Egypt. Per Ujet served as the ancient political capital of Lower Egypt. Bast was there also. You have the Bast energy and you have the Sekhmet energy. They did tap into the Bast and Sekhmet energy in the Black Panther movie. The Prince T'Challa was more in the Bast energy. Bast is a more balanced of the ferocious cat energy. And then the evil cousin, Eric Killmonger, he was more in that Sekhmet energy, just straight fire, wanted to destroy everything, basically. Okay, The city of Ujet. Ujet was a name of the serpent goddess, and within her sacred city was built one of the most glorious serpent shrines in all of Egypt. Ujet served as the ancient political capital of Lower Egypt. Osiris, which is Osar, Osiris's higher self, and it is said that the early Egyptian kings